For September 6, 2023 to order. I would ask everyone to bow their head for a moment of silence, please. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger and the Express Times of Warren County Zone and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro, Councilman McQuaid.
Here.
Councilman Polito.
Here.
Council President Wright.
Here.
Mayor Medici.
Here. Need a motion to come out of the executive session?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The council met in executive session where it discussed privileged matters that included 6 personnel matters, 6 contractual matters, and an attorney-client privilege matter. The minutes from executive session will be released at such time as the council determines no public harm will come from it. The council will now take action on 1 contractual matter involving Block 86 and Lot 101.
Okay, thank you.
We need
Motion.
I need a motion on number 13.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid.
Yes.
Councilman Polito.
Yes.
Council President Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Medici.
Yes. All right, we do have a presentation tonight on Block 100, Lot 2.03 and 3. It's an area in need of redevelopment. Gentlemen, you're on.
Microphone over here?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
I got up and down. Good evening, council. My name is Joey Mizrahi. We're working with a company in Paramount Realty NJ LLC. One of our affiliates is under contract currently for the property located at Block 100, lots 2.03 and 93. It is 1011 Route 22. We're here today to discuss a conceptual plan that we put together. Currently, the property is already deemed in need of redevelopment. And we're here today to hopefully have the council buy in to create a redevelopment plan based on this conceptual plan. Currently, we are proposing a Wawa fueling station with convenience store with 5,900 square feet with 6 MPDs, a proposed quick service restaurant about 2,500 square feet with a drive-through, and a self-storage building, a 27,690 square foot footprint with 4 floors for a total of 110,760 square feet. Part of this redevelopment would include making a 4th leg of the brand new intersection of Route 22 and Rand Boulevard. I have my engineer, Mark Whitaker from Dynamic Engineering here. He can go into more detail with regards to the details of the plan. We've met the town professionals a couple of times with regards to the plan, and this also would take into account the possible extension of Rand into Stryker in the future. We've met with the DOT with regards to the traffic light already. We feel comfortable with regards to what we're proposing, and we're here today to answer any questions or comments the town might have.
This would be your typical Wawa?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The elevations have changed. The Wawa.
Okay.
It won't look like the ones that are in the area now. Mark could show it. None of these haven't been built yet, but Wawa's rolling out a new look. So this is the building.
Yeah, this is the front elevation, side elevations, or this is the back elevation, these are the side elevations.
The height is a little shorter. The store inside probably look the same at the end of the day, and the fueling is the same with the slope canopy and everything of that nature.
Okay. So again, this is not available really for trucks?
Correct. Wawas do not allow trucks to fuel at the fueling station.
Okay.
They have low flow diesel only, which is typically for like a landscape vehicle or things like that. Their employees are instructed not to fuel the trucks, and if the truck does fuel, it'll probably take 8 hours, so they're not going to want to do it anyways. Mark will go through details, but we could obviously sign, no trucks, parking, things like that. That should not be a problem at the end of the day.
Okay, so just for the sake of the audience, and myself for that matter, we're talking about what is now the Twilight Building, we refer to it as the Twilight Dance Studio?
Correct.
And the parking lot adjacent to it, in
Correct.
front of the Christmas tree farm?
That's behind us and to the.
Yeah, it's to the
Christmas-
east
right.
of the Christmas tree.
Okay. And then we're talking about the other building on the, what would be the backside of the
South
Twilight?
side, right.
Okay. Which was the old Bell House.
That's probably a good picture. That's an aerial overlay.
Might be a little bit busy, but. Yeah,
So the
so the
storage is
parking lot you're
currently
talking
where the
about-
truck parking is now.
Mhm.
And the multiple buildings where the Wawa and the new accesses and where the quick service restaurant would be.
Yeah, we come up right up to the gas station. That's our property,
Okay.
to the east or south side.
Mayor, I've had some meetings with professionals for the applicant here.
Right.
And we've been talking about how to lay out this site and do it in a way that allows,
I can't hear you.
okay. Apologize. So we've had some meetings with the applicant and the professionals to talk about this redevelopment and find a way to accommodate all these uses, but do it in a way where there'll be, some landscaping and some decent aesthetics on the site, and also to accommodate the roadway that we refer to as the industrial connector. That's going to bring this roadway out to Strikers Road and vice versa. So one of the challenges here will be to make sure that the road right-of-way for that industrial connector, whatever we need to get vehicles to and from Strikers Road, is being provided. Mark had given me a sketch last week that's showing that it may be difficult to fit the right-of-way based on the sketch that we had prepared that we used with the grant application. So we're going to have to reconcile that and try to get that fit in. But I think we'll be able to do it. We'll be able to work with them to come to some accommodation. That's going to be something that's going to be built into the redevelopment plan if we do decide to do a redevelopment plan, is they're going to have to provide the right-of-way for the industrial connector across the site and dedicate it to the township.
Okay. You guys have done Wawa's before?
Yeah,
I've been doing Wawas for over 20 years. Done hundreds of them.
and we're their preferred developer, so we probably opened the most Wawas in the last 5 years.
I talked to a gentleman that I know over the weekend who has some places out in Pennsylvania. They're not main places, but he's got a couple of them. Because my first question is, you got a Wawa Roseberry Street, you got a Wawa westbound or eastbound. Now you're gonna have a Wawa westbound. You've got gas at US Fuel, you've got gas at the BP station, you've got gas at Cooper's, you're gonna have gas here, you've got Speedway, Luke Oil, and Quick Check. So, so I'm aware of that. So it's just, I mean, I know they do, I know they have marketing people. Back in the late 70s, my father did about 6 Quick Checks. They were going into Pennsylvania at one point, and they pulled back, but we had done all the masonry work for 3 of them. So Quick Check's been around a long time. I actually worked for Quick Check years ago. But the one on Roseberry Street, the Wawa, is always packed. And so is the one 22
I actually did that
East.
one. I did that one.
You did that one?
Next to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Wawa wants to be here. I mean, Joey can speak to that.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
must.
it's a done deal with Wawa here. I mean, they definitely want the site. Getting around for the most part, eastbound, westbound is not the easiest thing in the world. So they want to capture one side of the road here. One thing to note, based on our meetings with DOT, Mark's want to show it. Right now, it's not possible for people going eastbound to make a left into the site. There's too much right of way that needs to be taken up and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's also another.
I think it's a signal operation thing also. So.
Yeah, there's multiple things.
Well, if you're looking to go to a wall, I don't know why you would make a left there, knowing you can go a mile down the road and you got one on your right.
That-
Pull right
that's
in.
it. It's a convenience-based operation. People don't like making left turns, and that's really comes down to it.
So the Twilight Building and the old Cannonball would be removed?
That's correct.
Correct. We go all the way up to the gas station.
Or no, not the other one?
Is that?
Right,
further-
that's the US
It's
gas.
further,
Yeah, we go up to the gas
That's where it
tank,
stops.
basically.
Yeah. We're right up to that gas station.
Yeah.
This is actually the concrete pad for the fuel pumps right there.
Okay. Gentlemen, any other questions? Comments? Paul, anything you want to
These
add?
are all good uses. I mean, these convenience stores are extremely successful and
Better than what's
the
there
gas
now.
station, convenience store combination is something that's become very prevalent in the United States. I think the testimony I've heard at the hearings are 80 to 85% of the convenience stores are affiliated with a gas station now. You have very few legacy convenience stores that are standing on its own pad.
And vice versa. A gas
Yeah.
station now won't open up with a convenience store. It became one combined use now. They don't stand alone at this point.
I think the biggest building is a self-storage.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's a very passive use. I mean, we had one built on Strikers Road recently, and there's barely any vehicular traffic at that one. And this building looks to be similar in nature, where it's a multi-story building. It will have a more upscale, facade and, building design associated with it. It really will generate very little traffic.
Even though we have two other ones right up the street?
People need storage. Actually, you have a lot of apartments being built. There's very little storage in apartments. So people that are apartment dwellers need to rent out storage space in facilities like this.
Now, this storage area would look like the ones that are nearest to it, because I've seen some that actually look like commercial buildings.
We don't bring elevations, but typically they're gonna look more like commercial buildings. They'll have some corner decorative glass.
Okay.
And we could play with colors and materials of ephes and metal and things like that.
There is one, it's actually in the eastbound side of 22, going to Allentown. And when that building went up, I thought it was gonna be another store. It's up around DSW and that little strip
Yeah.
mall there, but it's a storage place.
Yeah.
Even the one on Strikers Road, it looks like anything but a storage place.
Yeah, I mean, the new modern storage and not the old ones with you lift up the shed and you get through and stuff like that. Most of it is entirely combined now, and, towns like it because it's really not a big traffic generator. And, we can make it look as, nice as possible. That's, with regards to the cost, I mean, that's a different story, but, it's good. It's a nice thing to have in the town. I think people use it actually.
We just had one built in White Township, Jim. And I think that one's 30 or 40,000 square feet, and the peak trips, or peak hour trips is only like 6 trips, like in the PM peak hour. It's extremely low.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, that I'm really not even worried about with that. I seldom see, I mean, obviously there's cars pulling in and out of those storage places, but I don't see it that often.
Yeah, the old times self-storage facilities were very industrial looking.
Yeah.
They really didn't have a lot of height to them, but they typically had metal facades associated with them. They didn't look very good. This is a lot different.
The only good thing about those is they can be dismantled and removed as quickly as they were put up. So,
Correct.
anyway. All right. Any other questions up here?
That's a question on fast food, I think.
What about it?
The fast food, what was the,
I don't believe you have a,
We don't have, we're to take it out to market now. It's probably the smallest building you could probably fit for fast food. It's about 2,500 square feet. Mark, how many cars
It's a dual drive-through queue, 14 vehicles, 20 parking spaces, but it's on the smaller side of fast food restaurants.
you were more interested in what it was going to be?
Oh, you mean,
no, just that we have a lot of fast food restaurants. Just like you said about the Wawas and the.
They're all thriving too, for some reason. I don't know
wait a
why.
minute, there's gonna be a separate fast food?
Yeah.
Not just Wawa-
Unassociated with
Wawa?
Wawa. Yeah,
On the
unassociated.
side.
Oh,
It's
over
on the other
there.
side of the extension of the brand.
All right, I'll take one more question. I really didn't want to open this up to the public tonight, but Donna, go ahead.
Just a quick question about the storage. Do we know whether all of our storage facilities on 22 and on Strikers Road are fully rented? Because if they're half empty, do we need another storage facility? If we're not
Well,
really renting them all out?
I personally don't know as to whether they are or not. I can tell you that my significant other had a spot in the one. Obviously, her spot now is in my lower garage, but they all seem to be full. As we walk back in there, you could see. So I don't know. Also, a lot of RVs on those properties and whatnot. People rent that, put their boats there. So they're definitely being used. As to whether they're all full, I couldn't tell you. So, All right, guys,
Thank you.
you're good?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. All right, public comment on agenda items only. John?
It's just a simple question. Yeah, it's number 6, resolution. What is the item of revenue from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs? What's the lead grant?
It's lead grant,
Oh, lead grant,
yeah.
assistance program.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, we're responsible now, the town, to inspect homes from a certain age, including apartments,
For lead paint?
for lead paint. And we applied for grant money to help us with the cost.
Help with the costs, okay. All right,
That's it?
that answers it, thanks.
Anyone else? Agenda items only. Judy?
In the closed session, the executive session, is about sewer. There was significant damage to the sewer system in the last 2 storms, I believe, I was reading in the paper. Did they say anything about our sewer rates going up because of that? We need
I
capital for the repairs.
have heard nothing on that, and our agreement is coming up with Phillipsburg, so we're working on it.
Okay. Number 2 on old business.
Yes.
That's great. It says for certain county streets for the weight restrictions. What about our local roads and neighborhoods? Are we doing anything there?
Our local roads are, Chief, 4,000
4 tons.
or 4 tons? Yeah. Okay.
So a tractor, like the tractor portion of a tractor trailer, that's over 4 tons, isn't it?
I would think it is, yes.
So they're showing up in our neighborhoods. I'm sure that's not okay with everybody. I hope it isn't. So what would be the protocol for that? I know there's one parked at Strikers. So there's a guy that parks his tractor there every day, but I'm starting to see them in Country Hills now.
How about if we address that when we get to that? Okay?
When we get to that?
Yeah.
When are we getting to that?
You're talking about number 2?
Yeah, Mayor, let me
Oh,
jump in
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to, so when you
Mayor,
discuss it, you'll be answering
We
it. Okay.
have numerous municipal roads that have 4-ton weight restrictions, and in fact, we expanded upon that several months ago. We added a significant stretch of Baltimore Street to those listed roads that have weight restrictions. The ordinance tonight is to actually add county roads.
Right, I knew that.
To that.
Uh-huh.
So I think the town has done a good job. Tractor trailers can go into neighborhoods to deliver things.
Right,
They're not
local
restricted from
deliveries.
doing that or
Understood.
other larger vehicles.
But not to park overnight at your house.
Of course not. So that's an enforcement thing. If somebody's doing that, actually the chief has his.
Chief, you wanna-
Go ahead, chief.
Yeah, I don't know of any ordinance or law prohibiting parking on your property. You're not allowed to park on a municipal street.
But you would have to drive to get to your property, right?
Yeah, you can drive home certainly. There's nothing, just like a local delivery. So there, as of right now, there's no law prohibiting somebody from parking a tractor trailer on their own property.
So we would have tractor trailers and tractors in our neighborhoods.
Yes.
And we're okay with that? We're not looking to maybe investigate that further, I hope. Okay, so consent agenda.
Yep.
Number 3, what is SWMA? What is that?
South Warren Municipal.
Yeah.
And what is that for? Like that grant?
Yes, it's related to drug and alcohol, and we are
I asked this question before.
in a group within the community, and we receive those grant funds for different types of uses. We have used it in the past for education, when our pool was open with our Zumba classes and with our camp.
Does that happen yearly?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
feel like I've asked that question before, and I feel
Does.
like that's the same
Yep.
answer. So do we use like maybe Narcan to like give that out free to people?
It's education.
Oh, it's only education? Okay. So number 5, What is that 82,000 spent on?
We got that, it was 82,000 for the park, was it not?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's for the recreational improvement grant that we received, and we're now inserting it into the budget.
Into the budget, not the
Yeah,
park?
We received the money, so we have to be able to insert it into the budget. It's Chapter 159, it's called. And so the state has us pass a resolution, then we send this down, and they approve it, and then the money comes in, and we have a line item for it. So when we're ready to use it, it's there.
Okay, and that would be used for like the park recreation?
Yes, it's going to be used for pickleball or.
Yeah, the township filed a grant application to construct pickleball courts as part of the redevelopment of the park.
Right.
And the township was successful in obtaining an $82,000 grant.
Oh,
So the
okay.
whole function, what's on tonight, is that this is a revenue to the township, and there's a certain way that the state has, there's a certain procedure that the state requires to actually recognize that as revenue. I think
Got
that's
it.
what Beth was saying, so.
Okay, got it. Thank you for clarification. And then number 6 is the 4,500.
That's the lead grant for paint and whatnot, yes.
Oh, that's that lead that he just asked that question.
Correct.
I didn't hear what that was. Number 14, the Class 2 officer, is that for a school resource officer? Because Class 2, I thought was usually for those purposes.
Part-time officer.
It says memorials hire of the Class 2 police officer.
But Class 2 can be used in various aspects.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't necessarily have to be dedicated to a school,
Right.
like a school resource officer.
Mhm.
So it's a part-time officer that would be able to be utilized throughout the community on a daily basis.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if we were hiring Class 2 officers in our schools here. How much is that, officer? What does that pay? Anybody know that?
That's an hourly rate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hourly?
Yeah.
And the football, how much is that scoreboard? Because it says amount of ...
Now 13,705.
13, oh, was it in the updated one?
Yeah.
13,000. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Donna?
Donna Schneider, 26 Meadowview. Can you tell me where Block 86, Lot 101 is and what a condition number 3 is?
Can you do that?
You guys, it's in executive session, it's privileged, it's a contractual matter, we're reaching out to the individual. So until it's released to the individual,
That's fine, but can you tell me what a condition number 3 is?
it's a deed condition in the deed of the property.
It's the deed of the property, okay. And I'm assuming, after all these months in executive, that we are talking about the paper street, that is between 30 and 32 Meadowview Drive?
Yes.
Okay. And do those homeowners need to do they need to, how does that work? Can you tell me how that
So,
works?
yeah, so just so you know, we're deeding back the right of way to them. It's gonna be
Right.
the first reading. When it goes to the second meeting, second reading at the next meeting, there's gonna be notices sent out to the property owners.
Okay, so second reading, they get notices about it. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Agenda items only now.
Yes, sir. Robert Bruce, 11 Harwich Road. I wanted to follow up on a couple of things, and that was that Resolution 14, that's a part-time police officer. Do we have a recognized purpose? Like, are we attempting to say, hey, we need somebody for something? Obviously, I'm on enforcement, and I had emailed you, Mayor, about enforcement, so is there a purpose, like, that a need that we're trying to fill, a lack that we're trying to address?
He could be used as supplemental patrol wherever he's needed within the township and for police business.
Okay, so that could very well be, we need,
Traffic or, things of that nature. Absolutely.
thank you. Excuse me, I put my glasses on, I can't read without them. And then following up on the old business ordinance number 2, just to clarify things, and again, Chief Garcia, I think you addressed this. So parking on the street is no good when we were talking about a cab. However, parking on the driveway is okay. Okay, so if we see somebody that is parking on the street, that's a violation.
There is ordinance on parking on the street over, I think it is four tons for a commercial vehicle. I'd have to read the ordinance specifically, but yes.
Okay, because I wanted to also follow up, and I know you guys have been working with the county and dealing with us questioning things about it, but this GVWR, is that a consistent 4 tons, 8,000 pounds across all of the counties, say, all of our roads and these additional county roads? Is it a consistent 8,000 with the exception of local deliveries?
I could not answer that.
And isn't it, I'm sorry, before, just to finish, because I understand that this whole purpose was to obviate the need for the New Jersey State Police to show up and weigh, that you're able to just basically look at the side of the cab and you're able to, okay, I'm sorry, but you can continue, sir. The 8,000 pound question, is it consistent on our town roads?
I don't understand your question.
I'm sorry.
We have certain roadways that have weight restrictions, and the ones that we have weight restricted are at 4 tons.
Okay, so.
It's not universal to every roadway in the township.
Okay, so there are certain roadways that are not weight restricted and they'd be allowed, obviously deliveries are different, but they'd be allowed to be over that 4-ton limit.
Yes, that's my understanding, yes.
Okay, and that, I believe our concern is that some of those may be local roadways running through neighborhoods.
No, it would not be those roadways.
Those roadways are entirely 4 tons? Okay,
There's sections of Strikers Road that are not load restricted, for example.
Right.
That's a municipal roadway.
okay, well, that's good, and, all right, and the only other thing, I guess I didn't sneak in on the presentation portion, which I guess you allowed a couple of questions, and so my question is basically, there was a mention, I believe, Mr. Stebbins mentioned that there's an existing sketch of the proposed grant route to connect strikers, and looking at the lots that are affected tonight and looking at where that is going to be. Did I understand you to say that you have an existing sketch, proposed existing sketch that's going to detail
There is a
that?
conceptual plan that depicts an alignment for the industrial connector between Strikers Road and Route 22. And that particular conceptual plan was part of a grant application that this township filed with the Department of Transportation to seek funding for that particular project.
Okay,
So there is a plan, yes.
okay, and are we able to get access to that? Can we get that from going to the building? Is that sketch on file at the township?
It's on file.
It's on
Sure,
file here, so
sure.
I just stopping and we could get a copy of what that sketch is, and it is proposed, and, okay, and then the concerning issue was about some sort of
Mr. Bruce,
10-foot.
this is agenda items only. You're getting off the,
Oh, I, just,
okay?
30-second question, 30-second answer. There was a concern with the presentation tonight that they may not be able to hook up to RAND with their build. I would presume that is a solvable problem, because if we're gonna hook up to RAND,
It's all
we're
gonna
gonna
have
have
to
to go through their property.
It's gonna all have to go through planning board and whatnot, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
to BD. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, Mr. Fields, nice to see you all again, Mr. Cunningham from 86101. I know there was something that happened here tonight with it. I'm returning back with, I have the information that you asked for, Paul, and John Sims has been in contact with you too. We reached out to Kyle Herman and got the CAD file, so I do have exact numbers. Paul, I don't know where it goes from here. I know there's
You
something.
can end this right now.
Yes, sir.
We will be sending you a letter.
You'll be sending me a letter.
Yeah, I'll be in contact with you and we'll
Okay.
discuss it. Okay?
Okay.
All right?
Is that good news or is that bad news? Can somebody, like, give me a hint?
You could determine that when you get the news, so. Anyway. It's legal.
What's the best contact information while you're here? Do you have an email, phone number?
I can leave you my email, sir, if you like. I'll give you my phone number too, and you can
No, I'll
call me
talk to you
tonight.
after the meeting.
You talk me after me, that'll work. Thank you, appreciate it. All right.
Thank you. Anyone else? Questions, comments, agenda items only? Seeing and hearing none. I want to move in old business. Number one is the minutes of the executive and regular sessions for July 5th, 2023 and August 2nd, 2023. We've all had a chance to look at them. If there are any omissions or additions. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make the motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Yes. Number two is ordinance number 23-19. Second reading and public hearing to supplement Chapter 227 entitled Vehicles and Traffic to add Section 227-28, vehicles over designated gross weight rating excluded from certain county streets. I will entertain a motion to open up to the public.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Folks, questions, comments? Judy?
So I guess it's just a continuation of the discussion. So that county roads includes Belvedere Road, because that was a big
Yes.
discussion. So what is the plan for enforcement in stopping the trucks? Is it just now, we can pull them over now? Is that?
Chief?
Yeah, as of right now, we can stop them, but
Mhm.
basically just tell them not to do that again. You know,
Right.
in the future, after this ordinance passes and we get authority to write the summons, we can actually summons the driver for being on the road, which in the trucking community, I think will travel, over travels,
Right.
and hopefully knock down some of the traffic that's on the road.
Right, because Mayor, you had said, like, I think you referred to a certain town that if you drive through, you knew.
Frenchtown, yep.
Thank you. There's quite a few towns, and you wanted this to be, Lopat to be that way, but
I said it would
trucks.
not bother me if we became known for that. No trucks. If you go through Lopat, then fine. So maybe that resource officer can,
Well, yeah, because there was talk a while ago about hiring another officer to help
That's
with the
correct.
enforcement.
We've been trying.
So
Can't get somebody to work.
you can't get someone to work. Yeah, I understand there are towns that don't, in the
Yeah.
country that don't even have police officers anymore.
if you look at our road crew jobs,
Yeah.
a lot of them are.
I know, that's everywhere. There's so many road jobs going on, right?
Yep.
So, okay. So, I hope that, I had suggested a while ago, do we own those mechanical signs that say, county fair, construction zone? I know when I drive to work every day, those signs are used in Clinton, with certain messages
A lot more
about.
money in Clinton.
What's that?
A lot more money in Clinton.
I know, you guys say that all the time. When I was on the school board, I heard that all the time, but it doesn't mean that we can't do things too.
No, it
To
doesn't.
better our community. So, maybe those signs somewhere on those county roads that, truck enforcement, I don't know, happening now.
Judy, I'm going to tell you what I've always told you.
What?
Nothing moves fast.
I hear
It
you.
doesn't move fast enough. Nobody's putting up more with trucks on Belvedere Road than I am. They're by my house constantly.
Mhm.
As soon as we can get this through, I'll be as much
Okay.
happy as anybody else. So then we could talk about signs and whatnot. They're expensive, but trust me.
I didn't know if we owned one.
No, we do not
Some
own
towns
one,
own
no,
them.
no.
That was my question, and no one wanted to answer.
Well, that's the other thing, could we put it out on a county road? So,
Oh, yeah, it would be county, but I know
Correct.
county has one.
Crazy, all these laws.
anyway,
What was that? I'm
It's all
sorry.
crazy, all these laws we gotta go by, and they keep handcuffing us.
Right. Well, not the red tape that we always use that term. So, thank you.
all right, thank you. Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? I'll entertain a motion on number two.
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Menducci?
Yes, number one under new business is ordinance number 23-20, first reading to vacate paper street known as Winter Hill Lane to become part of adjacent lots. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Mcdougal?
Yes, gentlemen, consent agenda 1 through 16. Anything that anybody wants pulled out of there? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion. Second?
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Mcdougal?
Yes. Do have a couple announcements. We do have our townwide yard sale. That's this Saturday. We have a shredding event for anything you want shredded on September 23rd. That'll be in the pool parking lot. And our fall cleanup will be September 30th in the pool parking lot and the number 2 fire company. So, on that, that's it for announcements. Rick, anything on council report?
Nothing to report.
All right, Jim?
Yes, Community Day was a success. Outstanding job by Kayla, Deputy Clerk. I'd like to extend a special thanks to John Nichols, Robin George, Tammy Pita, Heather Hufford, the Lopatcong DPW, Paul Kovac, and the Scouts for their participation and all their help. And next item is, I'd like to proceed with no littering signs on Strikers Road.
Okay.
Move forward with that. I'll talk with Paul about that.
Yeah, I think a few littering signs would not be a problem.
Yeah, we've already talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to go forward.
Okay,
That's all for now. Thank you.
let's get them up. Bill?
No, that just, again, Community Day was wonderful. Everybody worked hard. Brian and his crew, the police department, fire department, I'm happy to see everybody there helping out in the morning, and that's about it. Thank you.
Yeah, Community Day was great. I really didn't get around that much. I got to one spot and that was about it. Got my head burnt because I was too stupid to put a hat on, so. But other than that, that's about it. Need a motion to, or I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
I haven't.
I got nothing. We basically discussed a lot of stuff
Yeah,
tonight.
discussed a lot of stuff.
Need a motion to approve department reports?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Approve payment of bills? I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Mcdougal?
Yes. Folks, questions, comments?
Harvey Walker, 325 South Third Street. I'm noticing recently that the lot on Baltimore Street between 4th and 5th is getting to be a junkyard. Can anything be done to get it cleaned up?
We've already been in touch with our zoning officer. He's been out there. He's had conversations with Mr. Parney. There are a few cars missing from that lot. The gentleman that's working in there now has the contract with the U.S. Post Office.
Right.
There are 2 parts to that building. The other part of that building is being occupied by somebody that Mr. Parney, who owns the building, is trying to get out. At that point, he'll put a lot of that on the other side, more toward the Speedway. So he is looking into it.
All right,
Had a conversation with him twice in the last week about it, so yes.
I'll watch for the results.
That's for the results.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else, questions, comments? Donna?
Couple of questions. So Xfinity has been out digging, and I've seen a lot of complaints on Facebook next door and other places about them leaving their equipment on people's front lawns, leaving trucks on people's lawns. What's the protocol for that? Because they're coming up my road.
Paul's had meetings.
We need to bring this contractor back in. We had him here last week due to an unrelated complaint. And we're receiving a lot of complaints about the way they're restoring people's yard areas between the curb and sidewalk and where they're working. So there's going to be another meeting with this contractor probably next week to go over some other ground rules. There is a permit. It's a pretty comprehensive permit. But, we're running into some I guess, some challenges along the way
Yeah.
and things that we didn't expect,
Okay.
so.
So we had an agreement with them and they're basically not doing what the agreement is, what we have agreed upon at the moment. So, all right, so we're gonna work on that. Okay, and what if we see, so they're coming up my street, I'm just worried about some of the things. I have a sprinkler system, I'm just worried about.
Mark
some
your
of the-
sprinkler system ahead of time and let them know where it is, because the same issue came up late last week on the
That
street
dog
where there were
fences.
three
Oh, yeah, the dog
homeowners that
fences.
had dog fences.
Mhm.
And the issue came up when they started marching up that street. So we were able to work around it after the communication went out, but we need to bring this contractor back in to talk about restoration
Yeah.
and being a better neighbor.
Yeah, okay, good,
Okay.
thank you. So Twilight basically is now deemed area in need of redevelopment. Have you officially done that?
Yeah, that was done probably 2 years ago.
Okay,
So the reason why this prospective developer here tonight, the next step is to actually have a redevelopment plan prepared, which is a customized zoning ordinance for the site. So,
Right. And this
Mr.
is-
Ritter and I were not going to prepare that unless the town council was aware of it and understood what this developer wanted to do.
okay. So each redevelopment area it gets its own specific plan. So
Correct.
every time you deem something in need and then there's a proposal, you need to make sure that you have your plan in place. So it's not a blanket, every redevelopment is this. It's each specific to each lot?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, there's two ways to do it. We can change the zoning and come up with a new zone name for these group of properties
okay,
and spell out what the permitted uses are going to be, or we can create an overlay district where the underlying zoning, which I believe is HB, would still be the same, but they'd be allowed to do these other uses in this overlay as long as they met certain conditions.
got it. Okay, so
And Mr. Ritter, I guess when he prepares the plan, is going to lay that out
Okay.
for the township.
Okay, thank you. So in the meantime, we've got tractors piling up over there. We got people standing around waiting for rides that just dumped off their trucks. You've said that we've taken them to court. We've done all these things. We've given them fines and they just keep multiplying. They're not getting better. They're getting worse. So are they just don't care and we're not gonna, there's
Yeah,
nothing we can do?
Yeah, well, there's a court date, October 17th.
Another court date, okay?
So, and basically the guy has not complied with what he was ordered by the court the first time, so.
Okay,
And he pleaded
We've
guilty.
spoken to our zoning
Yeah,
officer tonight
yeah,
as well.
he was in here
To go
today.
out there and issue more violations.
okay.
So if
And the truck stop as well, the Eagle next door?
Cooper's,
Yes.
Yeah.
They're piling up there too again.
They are? Well, they put cement
They're all
blocks
on
in
the
there.
sides.
Well, see, back there,
We have truck repairs.
it's
too.
truck repair.
They're
back there.
not
It's been
truck
there
repairs.
forever, I
kind of
know.
a,
Yeah, they're not truck repairs.
Yeah, well, that's-
They're
I'll say
sleeping.
it that
The
much,
lights
you
are
know.
on. They're at night. You see the little
Well, that
lights
was our
on.
officer to go back out.
Thank you,
Okay.
because
that's
they're
why,
not
if you look
repairs.
under our agenda, that's why he was in here tonight. So.
Okay, I didn't even see him in here. Okay. And, my last thing, do we know what the name of the strawberry place is? Because they've done everything else but put a sign up on what their name
They just
is.
put a higher sign up today.
Yeah, they have a hire sign up, but they didn't say
Yeah.
who they are.
Yeah. I don't
It
know.
just says, for a job, call this number,
Yeah.
which looks a little weird. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can probably find out from our construction official.
Okay,
He was the one who gave me all the information last time, so.
Yeah, it'll be a zoning issue.
okay,
Zoning would have, because the sign has to be a certain size,
Yeah.
right, Paul? And if it
Yes.
doesn't meet that, then they would have to come in to a board and get approval for a sign.
Correct.
but the sign's already there for Berry. That sign is there
What's
already.
that? New
Well, if they're gonna change it.
Berry
then-
plastics.
And it's gonna be bigger or something, then. I think
Hydraulic
they would have to
strawberries is
clear
what
up
it is.
zoning first.
Okay,
That's what it's called now?
If it
No,
doesn't
that's
meet
what
it,
they're
they
making.
probably have to come to the board.
Hydraulic strawberry?
Okay.
We don't know what it's called, Beth?
Hydroponic.
Oh,
Well,
hydroponic?
yeah,
No, that's what they do,
the
but I don't
name.
think that's a.
Yeah.
I did print off, and I couldn't pronounce the
Oh.
name, honestly.
Well, that's always good.
It's an
I
Asian.
gave it to you last month. I gave you the first page by distribution.
Yeah, I mean, I could email it to you, but I don't know if that's the name they're gonna call it.
Okay.
But, these strawberries are supposed to be intensely sweet, very expensive, and going to the best restaurants, you know, for.
Are they gonna have a little, they're gonna have a little farm stand, you know, for us?
Nice, right?
You know,
Yeah.
$25 for
Yeah,
5 strawberries.
exactly. And just one last thing, on that property, there's like a mound of dirt, they're digging something on that property. What is it, don't they have to come before some kind of board for breaking ground?
If it's a septic issue, they gotta go to the health department.
There shouldn't be a septic on that. They hope they're building up the sewers.
Right, yes, yeah. So they're digging a big something back there, and I don't see them in any agendas that they were ever at any board here to come before anyone to ask for anything.
All right, we'll take a look at it.
Thank you. Okay.
Anyone else? Judy?
I think Donna has most of the ones that we're gonna ask, so. I thought it was funny that the guy referred to Twilight as a truck parking. That was funny.
Right?
That was funny, because
I agree.
that's what it looks like now, truck parking again. So the Eagle lot, yes, when I drive by in the morning, he's sneaking trucks. That barrier that you said that they have, yes, they cleaned, oh my God, all of it out,
Yeah.
but there's trucks, 2 or 3 sometimes
Yeah,
parked there.
those three been there, I've seen, and there's a car parked there too. I saw
Yeah, and
that,
that's
yeah.
usually, you know,
Yeah.
that we're
Yeah.
storing our truck there for the night. Xfinity, so they're on my street today, across the street from my house when I got home. And I was going out to get my mail, and I offered them cold water, because it's very hot out today. None of them could communicate, because I was going to ask questions, because I noticed they're digging on the lawn, not between,
The curb and the sidewalk?
right, no. They were digging on the lawn, and my husband's going to have a coronary if they dig on our lawn. So, and we have bushes there. Then I saw them, they had a truck pulled up through someone's driveway, apron, diagonal, up to the bushes of another person, like their exhaust is gonna burn their bushes. And it's just, it's haphazard, sloppy, unprofessional. So I couldn't communicate with them, because I was trying to say how many waters, testing the waters to see if I could communicate, but there was no English, so I couldn't ask the questions I wanted to ask. I'm sure there's a supervisor or somebody that does, but there wasn't anybody at that time. I hope that, I know you said you were gonna have a meeting, but can we cease operations before they keep destroying things?
We've already had one meeting. Paul, we get this.
It's an option.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they're coming through and causing such havoc to our.
Well, you gotta understand that there is a right of way there too. I don't know whether you're on the
I do
right
know
of
that,
way.
it was gonna be my question. What is that path, so I have the road, the strip, my sidewalk, how much of my front lawn?
Well, some of the newer neighborhoods have utility easements that are on the property. There's
Mm-hmm,
a 5 or a 10-foot utility easement.
okay,
And that's where utility companies have already located facilities, so they're
like those
looking-
boxes you're talking about?
Yeah, where the boxes are
Mhm.
located, so they're looking to be in that same location as where the utility companies have already located.
Mhm.
The problem is that people have well-established lawns, and they've
Right.
installed landscaping and other features in that area
Right.
since they have purchased the property and developed the property. So it leads to conflicts. We have the dog fence story from last week.
Right.
People put dog fences in there.
Because we invited them here, you know what I mean, like, and,
Well,
like you
know
said,
what?
be a good neighbor.
Here again, we invited them here, you're correct.
Mhm.
Because I'm tired of paying $244 a month for my cable.
Do you think
That's
they're gonna
why.
be cheaper? I don't know, if they're
That's-
gonna be cheaper.
I don't know if they are or not, but
Yeah.
Service Electric was, I'm here,
Right.
nobody else is here.
Competition is good, maybe
They're
they'll,
gonna have some competition.
right,
Uh,
I agree. I didn't mean that we shouldn't invite
Yeah.
them. We invited them,
Yeah.
not blaming us, saying that they should be good neighbors, like you said.
They should be.
Right, so-
If it'll make you feel any better, I'm about to have my front lawn of 53 years ripped up for a 4-foot wide sidewalk. So, it is what it is, nothing I can do about it.
Yeah,
Not to say that we should, because I've driven around.
we need
It looks like,
sidewalks.
it looks like a
Yeah.
war zone. you
Yeah,
know,
it does.
they're not doing a very good job. And again, Paul's already had one meeting with them because of that. We did cease operations last week for a brief
Because they were
period.
cutting everybody's
to
lines.
Take care of it. Tell Doug to get,
Yeah. All right.
tell Doug to get some grass seed, some good stuff. He's gonna need it.
I watched them today and I'm thinking, okay, I don't think that person's home and no one's watering in this heat wave, right?
Yeah.
Terrible. Okay. The strawberry place, the
Right.
hydroponic strawberries.
Right.
So that digging that they're doing, I could see because I was stopped at actually that spot the other day. It looks like they're expanding the parking lot, kind of. It's not connected, but it's like a huge flat area.
I'll get answers tomorrow morning.
Okay.
See if they pull permits for whatever it is they're doing. So,
Right. Okay, that was it. Donna had the rest on Twilight. Thank you.
thank you. John?
This question is for you, Jim. Just to see if anything that we as a Brinkley Gardens Tens organization have attempted to do, are any complaints coming in, either valid or invalid, from Brinkley Gardens or any,
Just one with I think there was one with the electronic payments.
yeah,
We discussed that one.
okay,
Did send that to the attorney. I
okay,
haven't heard anything back, otherwise nothing.
nothing.
John, I had a call the other day, a lady, one of the apartments called and said she had an inspection over there,
Yes,
and a guy came in and started taking pictures of her inside of her house all over. Have you heard that happening over there?
yes, I have a lot, and the questions come up a lot
Really?
for different people, yeah. They come in, they take pictures, if you've got a repair, they come in, take pictures,
Pictures of what, the repair?
pictures of where the repair is, I've heard of them taking
a
pictures of
bedroom,
the,
bathroom, kitchen.
pictures of the bathroom, kitchen, just taking pictures to,
Seems kind of weird.
well, it's to prove points probably in the future. I don't know why, but yes, that's a big, that's happened many times and I've had no answer for it. See, and with the thing you mentioned, Jim, that's good. There was at least that complaint. What I run into is telling the people what the procedures are. And that's why I came to the podium today to ask if anything.
They
was
have
happening.
they have to submit the complaint
Yes.
and they have to bring it here.
Yes,
Document
I
when it
do.
was sent, and if there's no response,
Okay.
then you
I
can possibly
understand that.
proceed with
Now, we're-
action.
We're trying to, one of our tenants has gotten a few of the ordinances, made a few copies of the ordinances and suggested we deliver those around. We can't deliver to every apartment, of course. It's just for us, it's too expensive. But, yeah, so the pictures though, Bill, that is something that I've had at least 10 people in the past year talk about, and I'm sure it's going on all over other places. I've had pictures taken in my apartment, but that was primarily because I have a countertop in the kitchen, which the press board rotted out underneath, so they're replacing that.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Those places are now over 50 years old.
Yeah, and
so.
it's good that they're not holding back on it,
Yeah.
and they're doing it. So it's going in for my birthday next Thursday, so I'm happy. I've waited since January, but
Better late than never, I guess.
yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right,
So that's a good answer, and I'll have to carry.
John, thank you. Anyone else, questions, comments? Brian?
Truck 128 has been red tagged, meaning it's out of commission. The framing, it's the Sterlings that we got a couple years ago, all right, from the Bridge Commission, we purchased them from, company. So that one's going out of that one. I need permission to get rid of it is what I'm looking to do. They told me that it will not hold the plows, it won't hold anything. They're worried the whole front of the model up.
How old is this truck?
2004.
Oh,
Now, it's done its time. And
yeah.
D&J's is the one that he caught. He said the whole frame is like quarter of the frame in the front. He said the whole thing's gonna fall out. So I'd like to just get rid of it. I'm asking permission because it's our vehicle.
Yep.
And just to let you know what we did with the new truck 127 we got last year. Truck 117 can't hold a plow no more in the front, but it's good for our asphalting and rolling it out. That's a truck that's with the belt on it. So we did not get rid of that. Just, there will be no plow on ever on that truck ever again. All right, but it's a good asset, but I can't find bodies that do that anymore except for big trucks. So until that goes, we're gonna save that. All right, so it's just a little bit update. The other update is the other trucks have shown up, ready to go. They just need to be the bodies, and I guess sit with Beth and go over things there a little bit. All right, so I don't know where we're gonna sit in the winter time with it. I'm hoping to get at least one of them before winter time, or we're gonna be down a truck. The parking lot, I went out of our DPW, all right, I got my first quote today. All right, so there's 2 more quotes coming yet, all right, and if it's under the cap, I can just go. If not, the first one is, all right, and, you know what I mean, so I think we're gonna be okay that way. So the parking lot will be paved down there, all right, and then we'll change the way the salt shed and everything travels for the water, so it doesn't travel the way, you know what I mean, the way the stormwater wants it to travel, all right, for paving purposes. And that's kind of it. Oh, Paul, you're going to meet with me, I guess. I didn't know anything about signs and for Strikers Road, and I didn't realize that we passed that ordinance for the Baltimore Street here. So we need to get together and finalize some things. Okay.
Maybe the day we meet with the cable company next week,
I'd like to meet with them.
you and I will have a discussion on signs, and I'll give you the guidance you need.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Chief, I did not ask you, was there anything other than your report from you tonight?
I give a brief traffic report.
Sure.
As requested by the public. Thank you, Mayor and Council. So for the month of August, we had a total of 117 motor vehicle stops, and 33% of those were issued citations. 20% of those citations were tractor trailers. So that's, overall, that's the traffic report for the month of August.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kathy.
Anyone else, questions, comments? Mr. Bruce?
Well, thank you for the dialogue during this public comment. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, about Frenchtown, you know, I know you mentioned that. I made note of it. It's a goal, you know, and the idea of the word getting around, you know, that's what we want. We want word getting around. Enforcement issue. Right? It's a matter of enforcement. Okay. I went to great lengths last month. I sent you a couple of emails. You responded to one of them. I'm following up on one of them tonight. I made 3 specific requests, and it was regarding the violation that happened at that facility, where they made the illegal left-hand turn, and then they ended up going down into the H&S parking lot, and you know, calling it in. They couldn't get a policeman there. I saw no trespassing signs, so I entered the property, took some pictures, gave them to you last month. So I had asked if the council, not the zoning officer, but if the zoning officer does it, fine. I just wanted to get a determination, a report back at this month's council meeting. Is overnight parking, is or is that not allowed at HS? Is that a violation, or is that something that was within the confines of what they're allowed to do?
If I told you I had that answer, I'd be lying, so. I don't have
Okay.
that answer.
Well, again, I'm just following up on what I had requested, and so have you endeavored to determine that, sir?
I personally have not at this point.
Okay, can you do that?
I can do that.
Okay, so I can tape,
K&S, is it K&S? Is it 190 Street?
I think it's H&S. I gave documentation to you, Beth, that you kindly distributed. It documented that facility.
I thought when I was pulling out some resolutions, I thought it was K&S.
You might be right.
The old lumber place?
Yeah, the old Wix building. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Wix.
think it's K&S.
Okay, okay,
Yes, H&S and HRS is right next door.
okay. I know it's one lot, but again, it's just, you know, hey, if they're allowed to do it, they're allowed to do it. If they're not allowed to do it, it's another issue of like, you know, hey, let's.
Well, common sense tells me it's a side business.
Mine too, just like the Twilight lot is a small business.
That's what it's telling me.
Yeah.
And of course, they're gonna make left-hand turns out of that postal facility down the road because it would make no sense for them to go all the way out and back around. They're not gonna do it, so.
Well, they're not the only ones, sir. And I documented that in my addendum. That was a Bath trucking facility that's been working with the United States Postal Office since the 1960s as well. And they went to strikers and they made a left. So they're just, again, if it's a matter of enforcement, if you're trying to tell me that, well, we don't really care that much about them making illegal lefts, then okay. But I think if we do care about that, it's a broken windows type of a situation. And that leads me to the other thing was that, with the documentation that I had, I requested that you direct the Lopatcong attorney to just basically write a letter to each of those three businesses that I gave you last month, saying, we have reason to believe that you're flouting.
So,
I'm sorry?
I just said that I believe we talked about that, so.
Okay, and has there been any,
We've written any letters yet, though, so.
okay, but that is in the wheelhouse of discussion, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else, questions?
And thank you for the police chief for reporting as well. Especially once you get that truck ordinance signs posted, it'll be interesting to see it spike, and it'll be interesting to see it decline.
I still want to know how they're making a left-hand turn on Lincoln Street, but that's neither here nor there. All right, anyone else, questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I'll second it. Folks, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
You know what?